Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am attempting to make scrunchies for my very first time. For my first one, I used this yarn, and this is the one that I'm going to be demonstrating in the tutorial. And when it comes to the second one, these are the colors that I went for. Very vibrant, colorful, for those people who love a touch of color in their hair. You will get some colorway like this. So I'll be putting all the details in the description box below if you would like to get the same exact yarn and play around with it. This is what the two scrunchies look like. Same, almost the same exact instructions, but the final look is almost totally different. This one is much lighter, this one is much heavier, looks a bit stiffer, a bit chunkier. This one looks very light, very functional, an everyday piece that you can throw on. So your color choice is going to play a big role in the final look of your project. So let's jump right into the video. This is my very first attempt, and I thought I would do it on camera and we see how that plays out. So I have this leftover yarn from previous projects, and they're the ones that I'll be using. I'm going to play around with both colors, as you'll see later on. And the other thing that you'll need are puff holders. I have these old puff holders that I've been using to hold up my hair, especially when I have braids. You can see they are overstretched, but that's okay. We are using what we have so that we can see the final product. Then you'll also need a stitch marker. This is totally optional, and a darning needle and a 4mm crochet hook, as you can see here. It's a 4mm. So let's dive right in. So let me use this one. The second one, I'll use a whole different color scheme, and I will show you how the two will look like in the end. But for today, let's learn on job. I am attempting this for my very first time. So if you're a first timer and you follow these instructions, we shall end up having the same exact thing. So I'm not an expert at crochet scrunchies at all because I've never made any. So let's see how it goes. So I'm teaching while I learn. You're going to start off with a slip knot, and you're going to make a single crochet all the way around your puff holder. So I'm going to insert my hook like this, insert into the loop of the slip knot, and then pull it through like that. And then you are going to make a chain of 1. You're going to go ahead and place a single crochet in the ring all the way around the puff holder while hiding this tail. So I'm going to hold it along the puff holder and go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. So I'm starting with my plain color. You're going to crochet all the way around the puff holder until the whole ring is totally covered. So this is going to differ depending on the circumference of your puff holder. Mine is already stretched out. It's not a new one. So definitely I'm going to do way more single crochets as compared to a person with a new one that has never been stretched out, as you can see here. So go in, pull up a loop. Sorry, I'm going around the tail so that I can weave it in, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all. So I'm going to do that real quick until I come back to the beginning of my round, as you can see here. Just make sure you wrap around this whole circumference. So maybe if I am to make some scrunchies for the people who order for my pieces, that will be more like a bonus. I will have to get some new puff holders so that I start on a clean sheet. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm going to go all the way around until I come to the end of the round here. All right, so we're coming to the end, and you're going to make sure that your work is not twisted. You can get your scissors and cut off this little loose end that remain behind. Just pull it through so that it can become very neat. Make sure that the braid that we have created is on top of your ring or the puff holder that you're using, and make sure your work is not twisted, as you can see here. Make sure the work is not twisted, and you're going to make a slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round. So for me, this is what I have so far, and I'm going to make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn because I'm switching yarn to the variegated yarn. The fact that I'm using an old puff holder, I want to spice up a little bit so that I can get some sort of beauty to my project. So I'm going to get my yarn, as you can see here. This is the yarn that I'm using. Everything will be mentioned in the description box below. So grab your hook and yarn and make a slip knot, and you're going to attach your yarn into that stitch that got the slip stitch, into that single crochet there, and you're going to make a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet, and then go into the same exact spot with a double crochet. So that means the first stitch has 2 double crochets. You're going to go ahead and place 2 double crochets in each and every stitch around. So a double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then make another one into the same exact stitch. So we're going all the way around, placing 2 double crochets in each and every stitch. So the fact that this is variegated yarn, it will keep switching to different shades as I keep working. So you can see how it's switching into the brown color, which is exactly what we want. It's going to be very beautiful for those people who love earthy tones, and yeah, this color scheme is really beautiful. I have used it to make a beautiful dress for one of my clients, and it really looked very, very cute. This yarn is quite thick, so I would compare it to a Red Hat Super Saver. The thickness is almost the same, so if you can access Red Hat, that would be a great substitute for this project. And then also we want our scrunchie to be a bit dominating and very visible, so I opted for yarn that is not very thin. So guys, do you see the effect? It has started curling up. It looks very pretty. I can't wait to see the final look. As I had mentioned, this is my very first time making this, so let's see how it goes. I'm excited for the final product. These are very quick projects that you guys can play around with, and these can actually sell out on market days. I've seen people really sell these, but I had never really picked interest because I'm more into wearables and, you know, that kind of fashion. So today I am kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. Okay, the stitches are going to be quite many because my puff holder was old, as I had mentioned earlier on, but that's fine. This is going to give us something way different from what we expected. All right, guys, do you see the effect that that is created when we first use a solid color at the base? It looks like a planned sort of piece. Looks very intentional. So something you have to consider. Oh, the dark brown is just coming through at the end of the round. Oh my God. But that's okay. This is random placement. So definitely, if I'm to get an order of, let me say, 100 of these, each scrunchie is going to look totally different. And that's the beauty of crocheting. So I'm placing my last 2 double crochets into the last stitch, just like that. And then I'll go on top of the first chain 2 of the round because it counted as a stitch, and I'll place a slip stitch. So look at my round 1, guys. You can even stop here. I feel like this is okay, but no, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to do another round. So make a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet, go into the same exact stitch with a double crochet, and then go into the same with another double crochet. So basically we have a total of 3 stitches into the first stitch. We're going to go all the way around, placing 3 double crochets in each stitch, and that is going to make the ruffles even more pronounced. So a total of 3 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So this is round 3, which is 3 double crochets in each and every stitch around your scrunchie. So look what we have right now. I'm going to go all the way around and finish up the round at this point, and I'll be back to show you what I'll be having. All right, guys, we've come to the end of round 3, and I am placing my last stitches, just going into the very last stitches with 3 double crochets into each stitch. So this is my final one, and I am placing 3 double crochets. So you can see the random placement of colors, and I can literally maybe never get the same exact placement of colors as this particular scrunchie. So after your last stitch, you're going to go on top of the first chain 2 of the round and place a slip stitch. And then from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So now we're going to do an edging for our scrunchie, and to do that I'm going to use the same exact color that I used on the inside or in the middle for round 1 of the scrunchie. So make a slip knot and attach where you ended your final round into that stitch with the slip stitch. Just attach your yarn there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to be as detailed as possible because for this stitch, this time around, I am going to use a crab stitch. So that is moving backwards. So you go into the stitch before, we are going all the way back. You pull up a loop and yarn over, pull through all. and then chain 1, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. So it's more like a reverse single crochet, but with a chain 1 in between. That's all that you're going to do. And this is going to create a very unique edging for our scrunchie. I usually don't like to finish off my projects with a plain double crochet stitch. I'd rather just create an edging. So you can see how the edging is looking like. You're going to do that all the way around. And this is going to create some sort of uniqueness on the edges of the scrunchie. This is going to take a while because this has been round 3 is a very long round. So chain 1, single crochet in the stitch before. That's all that you're going to do. So you can see the difference between the stitch with the edging as opposed to this side without the edging. So let me go ahead and keep doing that, and I'll meet you back at the end of my round. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the round finally. This is a very long round because our stitches have already increased, and this is exactly what we have at the moment. I'm going to make a chain of 1 and place a single crochet in the very last stitch. Just like that, and then I'm going to make a chain of 1 and slip stitch into that stitch with the slip stitch just to wind up my round. Pull through all and make a chain of 1. Cut your yarn. Oh my god, it hasn't been the easiest. It hasn't been actually very quick. Maybe if I had left it at the level of the double crochet round, maybe it would have been much better. But I'm going to just go ahead and weave in all my ends. You can use a darning needle. I prefer to just make a knot on the wrong side of the work. Just as you can see here, wherever the 2 ends meet, I just make a double knot. And then cut off the excess yarn. Okay, so maybe weaving in with a darning needle would have made a much better look, but this is just a try and it's for my own self, and this is exactly what I've gotten. It's a bit loose because remember we have worked on a foundation of a stretched puff holder, but I am really pleased with the outcome, and this is what my first ever scrunchie looks like. Alright guys, now for my bright colored scrunchie, this is what I ended up with. I actually love this even more than the brown one, but I just wanted to use the neutral colors just because the brown kind of resonates with the dirt and the oil and all that. But I ended up loving this even more, and this is the colorway that I used for this scrunchie. Very beautiful, perfect, very colorful, very vibrant, playful. all those beautiful aspects. So this is what I ended up getting. And when it comes to the edging of this one, for the final round, I just went in between the stitches and placed a plain single crochet all the way around. I didn't do the crab stitch just like I did for the brown one. So this is what I ended up with. And when we put them side by side, this is the difference. So your color choice, or your yarn choice actually, will play a big role in the final look of your project. As you can see here, this brown one looks very tough, very stiff as a bit, and very chunky as opposed to this one, but the instructions are basically the same. This one feels much lighter. I think I'll go with this one. I love it so much. And this is the end of the tutorial, guys. I hope you loved this one. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.